Okay.
Right. Hi, Arindam. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you,
Please,
ma'am. Nice to meet you
introduce
too.
yourself.
So my name is Arindam Chatterjee. I am currently working in Cognizant, and I am basically from West Bengal. So currently I have got through ISB and IIM. So I'm planning to pursue my MBA studies from ISB itself. So thanks to you for guiding me through the interview and SOP process.
How did
Yeah.
you shortlist the universities to apply to?
Ma'am, practically I have a aim of staying in India itself. Like I have a long-term plan of staying in India. So I have practically chosen Indian-based schools for my future studies. So I have shortlisted ISP and IIM ABC in round one. So I have got through ISP and IIMB. So no next plan. So if I couldn't have got through, then I could have thought of different B schools again. But my long-term plan was staying in India itself, and I do have some personal problem. So my long-term plan and my main aim was to serve India itself. So I have chosen ISB as my option.
Right. So GMAT is a very important step when you are planning for MBA admissions. So what would be, the tips and strategies that you would share for preparation for the GMAT? Any resources that you would
Mhm.
recommend?
Yes, ma'am. From my point of view, OG was a kind of a guide for me. It's kind of a Bible or Gita for me. So I have learned each and everything for the OG guide. Like first 3 months, I have prepared well. The OG 2021 guide, 2021, I have given GMAT along with two books which they are providing, the GMAT team, like the verbal book and the quant book. So I have read that very thoroughly. And then the next strategy was to solve the OG guide properly and then appear for one of the mocks in MBA.com. So I did that. And in the first mock, I have scored 670. So then you need to analyze that where you are lacking, where you are not scoring well. So I have analyzed and I have got through that. I was lacking in data sufficiency part and the verbal part. So I have taken coaching for one of the coaching institute for my verbal part, and for data sufficiency part, I enrolled to gmatclub.com, which is a free resource, and I start solving 700 up questions there. And after preparing for 3 months again, I have given GMAT again, not actual GMAT, but the mock test, not MB.com. Then secondly, I have scored 720. Then again, I analyzed the mock that where I am lacking and all. So I have prepared well and I solved many questions and all. So at last, I have scored 750 in mock test. And last mock, the coaching institute which I have taken from, so they have given one free mock. So I have given that. And finally, I have scored 760. And real exam on GMAT I have given on 1st of July 2021. And by God grace, and hopefully my good labor and all, so I have scored 760 GMAT score.
Right. So 670 to 720 took you around 3 months, and then around 3 months more from 720 to 760, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's
Yes, ma'am.
roughly a 6 months
Because
journey. Yeah.
because I was working, so I was not getting enough time for my studies. So the weekend was the only time where I was preparing myself. So 5 days I was quite busy in my work. I need to devote my time in work itself. So weekend was the proper time which I was devoting properly to the gym. If somebody is preparing apart from the work, like if somebody is not working, so they can prepare 2-3 months. I believe it's a good amount of time one can score at least more than 700.
So when you comprehended the application process, how much time did you, keep aside or plan for the essays, application essays?
I'm practically I have a aim of applying in R1 itself, because ISP and different B schools are giving quite good scholarship for that if you are applying in round one only. So I have a target that I will be getting a scholarship for good B schools. So my target was to give GMAT in June, July, August itself, and I will be applying for different B schools. So I did that. I have given GMAT on June, July, and I have got a good amount of score in that. After 1 week of time, 1 week of comprehending, or say have a good research that how we should be going. I have seen different YouTube videos, how is the application procedure, what is the next step we should be doing. So after 1 to 2 weeks, I started my application process for different BA schools. So ideally 2 weeks of buffer time I have taken post my GMAT.
Right. To write the essays, you think around 2 weeks to 3 weeks is a good time to keep aside.
Yes, ma'am. It's a good amount of time to write the
And
different SOPs and all.
right. And about the scholarship process, I believe you have been awarded a scholarship as well. And so tell us about the process and what all things are involved in that.
Okay. So, ma'am, practically, you don't know in which criteria ISP is giving a scholarship, but at least everybody is filling the scholarship, and it's a huge amount of competition there. Like in R1, you can fill the scholarship criteria because everybody is eligible for that by default. But it completely depends on like your GMAT score, your academic skills, and the interview skills, obviously. And at the end, they segregate some scores, and top 40 students from ISP, like in the round one application, they are getting scholarships. So they are a different kind of a scholarship also. So all the list will be there in the ISP's application itself. So as for the criteria, you need to go through the different scholarship criteria and you need to fill that. And for that, you need to draft a different essay also. So you can write a different essay for that. And accordingly, if you're eligible, if you are like meeting all the criteria, you will be getting a scholarship.
Right.
So I have got like scholarship for like merit-based scholarship of 5 lakhs rupees I have got. So I don't know like what are the criteria they have seen, but yeah, it's a
Merit
complete
based
different.
is, of course, based on your GMAT and your academic scores.
Yes.
Yes. So, and how was the ISB interview?
My ISP interview was very good for me. Like thanks to you for guiding me throughout the process. And like the questions which they have asked practically was not out of the box because I was well prepared and you have given me the proper guidance, proper coaching, and none of the questions I have came across which is out of the box. But what I would like to mention here is like ISP interview is quite different from different B schools interview because they will not be asking you any general knowledge questions, any technical questions and all. They will be checking your leadership qualities. They will be checking your general communication skills. They will be checking your analytical skills, and they are looking for overall package practically. Like, do you have the diversity or not? Do you have any leadership qualities which you have shown during your college days or during your work areas or not? So these are mainly qualities which they are looking for. So they will be asking you mainly the practical questions like related to your work experience, what you have done, what you have not, how you manage the teams and all. So these are the general questions which they will be asking. But one thing which I have seen is you need to prepare yourself. If you are not prepared for the interview, you will not get through because I have a notion that yes, I have a good GMAT score, I will get through. But this is not the thing. Like I was dinged in IIM interview. Like I now regret that I could have taken coaching from you like before 2 months. I could have got through in IIM Ahmedabad also. But nevertheless, I have got ISP. But one thing I would like to mention here is getting a good GMAT score and getting a good profile is not enough. You need to prepare for the interview part as well. So you need to be very thorough in your profile which you're working for, and you need to be very clear on why you want to do an MBA and all the things. So this is my overall suggestions to all of you.
Right. And how, what about the interview preparation? What all things do you think are important for preparing for the interview?
Few questions which every interview person are asking to the candidates is like, tell me about yourself, why you want to do an MBA, some question related to your work experience and all. So these are few of the questions which you should be very much thorough enough. Like citing one of the examples of mine. So before coming to you, I was not very much clear on the idea that why I want to do an MBA. So I had a session like 3-4 sessions with you, and I had a brainstorming session that why I want to do an MBA. So after that, I got a clear idea. Ki, yes, I want to do an MBA because of this reason. So they want that clarity in the interview. Ki, why you want to do an MBA? Because like 5 years, 6 years, you are already working in some of the good industries, maybe some of the IT good industries. So why you are switching from this IT field to like different MBA field or finance field to different MBA field? So that reason of switching to different fields should be very much clear enough. So this is the point which I would like to mention, that why MBA question should be very much clear in your mind, that why you actually, and you have to know yourself that who you are, what is your future goals, what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals, and actually why you want to do an MBA. That's it.
Right. So give us an unbiased insight into how one should decide on taking up an admissions consultant.
Practically what I did is like, first of all, you need to shortlist at which other base schools you are targeting to. So first and foremost thing which you would like to do is like you should be contacting with different alums of different base schools which you are targeting. So I was targeting ISB and IIM ABC. I did that through LinkedIn, and I contacted with many of our seniors or say the alums, and I talked with them that how they have prepared. Okay, so I have got a very good feedback from like different students from ISP. That GOALisB is one of the trustable thing that you can opt for, and you will be getting a personal guidance from there. So practically, I have like been guided by you uh, during my preparation days, and not only this, I also have connected with many other admission consultants also. To be on a frank note, but the personal guidance I haven't got. They are very much professional, and the personal guidance and the personal coaching you will be getting here. So that I have got, because you need to brush up your weak areas. You do not need to strong more on your strong points. You need to brush up your weak areas. So that I have got here, that I was not very much clear on my thoughts and all. So that clarity I have got. So I have got a clear goal and why I want to do an MBA, what kind of questions are generally there, because you yourself is also an ISP element, you are also taking different interviews and all. So you know that what kind of a questions are generally being asked and what the outcome teams are mainly looking for. So overall, it was a great experience working with you, and like I can tell that no questions, no, like not a single question was out of the box. Every question was like prepared. So you can obviously give a flaunt answer, and obviously you can get a scholarship obviously for that.
There was nothing out of syllabus.
Exactly, ma'am.
Right. Nice. Would you like to summarize some tips and strategies for people who are applying in the next year, how they should look at their profiles and how they should, so what type of extracurriculars, volunteering activities? So there is a standard formula. Is there a standard formula at all? Or and what is the application process, how they should approach it?
I would suggest that you should be giving your GMAT exam on like June, July, August itself, and you should be targeting for round one application, because there is a greater probability of getting a scholarship there. So this is one of the criteria, and whatever is being done, you cannot change that. For example, 10, 12 undergrad scores and all. So what you can do right now is like increasing your GMAT score and preparing well for the interview and SOP part. So again, getting a good amount of GMAT score is not sufficient. I'm telling this repeatedly because I am a worst sufferer of that. I have got a good GMAT score, but I have not got through IIM Ahmedabad. So this is the worst thing I have done. So you should be taking a proper guidance from the alums, proper guidance from the admission consultants like you. They will be properly guiding you, like what the outcome teams are looking for, what kind of a questions they will be asking, how to write the SOP, when to submit, what are the different like scholarships are there. So they will be properly guiding you. So you need what I feel after GMAT, you look for different admission consultants, you talk with them, whatever you feel, you go for that. And practically I will be suggesting GOALisB for that, because you will be getting a personal guidance, personal coaching here. So this is my suggestions for all the people. And regarding the extracurricular activities, you can definitely opt for different NSS activities. You can, like, if you don't have any extracurricular activities up to this amount of time, so you cannot do right now, right? So you cannot develop yourself right now in this stage of time. So what you can do, you can go for different certifications and all, to have a better clarity of work whatever you are doing. For example, if you're on IT field, you can do different certifications, because they need a clarity of mind, clarity of thoughts in the interview process, so that you can answer well. So this all kind of a guidance, what you should be doing, what you should be not, can be well versed by Shruti ma'am. So obviously you can be getting a proper idea on that. So this is my suggestion for all the upcoming candidates.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.